Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we are live on Project Cars 2 for the Pagnian Imports Toyota 86 Championship. We are up to round 2 tonight, and that sees us at Brands Hatch GP. Taking a look at the session we have for tonight at Brands Hatch is 15 minutes of qualifying. Weather is medium cloud and the race is 17 laps. Weather is medium cloud through to overcast, and it is a mandatory pit. And then the standings after round 1, the championship leader is DK Rush. He's got 143 points, and it's pretty close on those rest of those standings, so we could see a bit of movement in that tonight. And then the results from last week were at Zolder for round 1. DK Rush went on to take the victory after qualifying second, and Wira ended up taking the fastest lap bonus point, setting a very tidy time through that race session. And then take a look at the track. We have the United Kingdom in-game session time is 10 AM for qualifying, and then track length is 3.9 kilometers. There's 9 turns. It is a very fast-flowing track, and it's going to be quite interesting seeing these Toyota 86s fly around Brands Hatch, as it is already a fair bit of a drift track with some off-camber corners, especially turn 1 at Paddock Hill. That's going to be rather interesting seeing these guys throw these very torquey 86s through turn 1. So hopefully they get through nice and cleanly for it. Otherwise, most of the time is going to be made up through Sector 1 and the start of Sector 2. Bring up proper details here. If you're joining us for the stream, jump in the chat, say hello. If you're new finding our channel, do hit that follow button so you can be notified when we go live. We do Project Cars 2 on Thursday nights, and we also do iRacing on Monday nights. So there's plenty of racing action to be seen during the week. Hey Janelle, thanks for jumping on the stream. Straight up, we just had a disconnect out of it. We were having a few clashing issues at the start. Managed to get everyone resolved before heading over into qualifying. Fingers crossed that manages to maintain throughout the night. Definitely use those sound effects controls down under the stream so that way you can support our drivers and have some fun playing various sound effects. There's applauds, boos and the likes all at your hands down to play and be recorded over that stream. We have Taijo joining us for round 2 and this round 1. Running car number 61. Simo Simsel in car number 137. Make our way through our drivers as they're completing the outlap. Track conditions are going to be relatively cool still. That cloud cover and the early morning times in the UK. See some pretty tight times being set by a few laps in. Got head farm that we're going to focus on at the moment. And spray and pray. Got Steph. At the moment, crossing between platforms, making her debut on iRacing Monday just gone. Getting herself jump between the Ferrari 488 and the Toyota 86s. There's a big difference jumping between the titles. Hopefully she can adapt well in between and have a good run tonight. Cliff. Haven't seen Wira be able to get back in yet. May have actually just been a disconnect. Hey Sami, thanks for jumping on the stream. Hope you're well. Vortex. He's having some pretty good pace. Oh, there was a little bit of a lag spike just before he started to tank slapper. DK coming into round 2, leading the way. He's very close to Philly in the points. That's good news, Sammy. Thanks, I am doing well. Qualifying result for Philly, and a potential race win. Team definitely take the lead. They stay pretty close to DK. Even try and bump those points up with getting those extra 5 points for the fastest lap. Bringing things very close for that championship lead. DK's got current pole. Followed by Dirty Monkey. DK setting up 130.8. So, out on track now, and he just sets his first timed lap. Rejoined the session. Oh, looks like he's definitely having some issues joining and leaving session. It's interesting. He wasn't having any clashes in the lobby beforehand, but appears to be doing so now. Time for DK. Cliff just having a spill. He's just come through setting a 130.9. Now 2 drivers in the 30s. It's still only 7 tenths difference between DK's pole time. And Dirty's just snuck in as well. His times are really dialing in now. He's been bumped down a few spots. Jump on board for a hot lap with someone in a moment. Hopefully don't give the jinx to Tender. To turn 1, a very quick corner. Can't lose sight of that apex at the crest. Down to a very tight hairpin. Lag spikes going on from Tender. I think they even actually caused a little bit of contact. Okay, he's just passed. That may have been Simo's car. Here we go, Wirra's just joined the session. No, backed out. Not sure who he's clashing with. Very crucial in that last corner for his sector 1 to be able to get that run up the hill. Sector 2 is the fastest sector. Most of these corners you can get pretty flat strat. Just a tap of the brakes, turning and looking for those curbs. There's plenty of exit curb as well. There's a fair few lag skips going on. moved up a position. Shaved off 6/10. We've got lag spikers. Whereas getting back into the session. He's actually got the car into the pits. He's getting a start there. And that lap for Pretender ended up moving him into P5. Ijo having some dramas, getting his laps invalidated. Between our first 10, there's only 7.4 seconds. This first time lap it is. Ijo gets in a timed lap. There we go, we just had Weir drop out again. Going to be disappointing if Weir can't get this resolved. DK's broken into the 29s. 29.875. Just keeps bettering his own time. 29 is going to be a pretty hard time to try and beat now. Billy qualifying in third, Mick in fourth. Getting a little wide. Oh, big drift for Vortex. He gets it under control. This time's come right down now. Ijo's improved to a 1:31. Cars separated by 6.5 seconds. Weir is on track, so his connection's been stable enough to be able to get out on track. And be leaving a whole lot of time to get qualifying in, but the main thing is if he can stay in. No, it's been another dropout now, I think. Yes. Gamer, thanks for joining us. Hey Jurassic Jam, thanks for jumping on. Good, hope you're well over there. Just over 2.5 minutes left to go. Probably going to be sadly not seeing Weir make the race now, especially with the disconnects. And try and solve his IP clash plan to be a modem restart, console restart. That's not going to see him start in time. And Ijo moving on up in those times. 4 attempts away from DK's time. Philly to try and keep that gap between himself and DK for the championship. He's going to have to try and improve that qualifying position a little bit more. There's not a whole lot in it. 5 cars separating at only 0.8. The main thing is it doesn't take much to shave off on a lap, move up a couple of positions. Races across Tojo, and there's a car coming up. I think that's Vortex. Narrowly avoids him. Only 4.3 seconds off that pole time. That's seeing us in position 10. That is how tight these times are. Mick and Dirty parked the car up, so that's going to be done for their qualifying. There's only 40 seconds left on the clock. We'll leave it open for Philly to try and move up some positions here. You should have enough time to be able to get across the control line, be able to get one more lap in as well. He's got ample fuel to be able to take on another lap, as he doesn't invalidate this lap in these last few corners, because otherwise it'll do out this lap and the following. I think that's Steph that's just lost it, top paddock hill. A bit for qualifying. Countdown is done now. Last lap's now being finished. There you go, Philly's moved up into position 2. I think he's satisfied with that. That's pretty good. That's point 2. DK also bringing the car in. Taijo's been pushed down a spot. Will he be able to recover it? Oh, it's just bend it. Might be you zooming in over to the cars as they return to the pit. There's just been a car that's smashed off into the end. The Simo. It only leaves Head Farmer now. One that's on a hot lap. Everyone else has brought the car in. You can really see some burnouts at this being done. We are missing Balaki tonight. Isn't able to join us. Otherwise, he would have been out there doing some burnouts for us all. Head Farm improved that 132.5. He does, he improves it to a 0.3, but it's not enough to change that position. And then for round 2 at Brands Hatch GP, we have DK Rush position. And the rest of the grid is then Philly Manilli, Taijo, Mitcliffe, Dirty Monkey, The Pretender, Spray and Pray, Head Farmer, Vortex, Steph, and then Simo Simzel. And that's only 6.4 seconds separating the 11 cars. This is going to be a very exciting race. Over to the grid now. Driver's got a couple of minutes to get ready for the race. Sadly, we've out on we're being able to get back into that session in time. And Just Jam, it is one of my favourite tracks as well. At Jam's Hatch. The series is set to custom setups. That means the drivers can be running different setups for the qualifying and race. Now to fully tune their cars. Seeing some very tight times being pushed out of these cars, so the drivers spending a lot of time dialing these things in over the week. There's only been a couple of points difference between DK and Philly in qualifying position. There's less than 20 points separating the two in the championship. So a strong race result here. Plus those bonus points for fastest lap could definitely see things tie out or a lead change. Philly's going to need to get a good run of it here. Get a better view. DK gets off to a flying start. Taijo in a pretty good position as well. They get through nice and safe down through turn 1. Even still managing 2 wide. Big lift, making a move up through the inside. I think he's going to be at Taijo as well. He's dropped back a couple of spots, but then there's tangle between Pretender and Head Farmer from the looks of it. Def just getting caught up with Simo in trying to avoid the contact. The extent of the damage may have happened. I think they have just been rubbing. Not sure if it's going to require a pit in at all. Philly holding onto the tail of DK. Taijo probing the nearest for Mick. He's looking for another way back around. Oh, and I think that was a little bit of lag contact for Taijo. And the Head Farmer's just gone for a slide. I'm not sure if that was a pace coming out of there, if it may have been a bit of debris from the cars ahead coming off. It's been pretty loose first lap. And Taijo's coming in pits now. He did touch the wall. Lower lap, might as well get that mandatory pit out of the way. It's going to be beneficial to Mick. That pressure that Taijo is putting on is gone, but Dirty is moving up to take that place. Steph being caught up and going off track. I think it's just before turn 3. He's actually still holding in position 7. Scenes from Head Farmer and Taijo's definitely helped. Starting to close in pretty quickly. Spray and Vortex looking to duke it out. Managed to get around pretty nice and quick. Well, I think Vortex has just gone off. It's going to let Spray move back up into P5. Spray opting to pit in now. He's still holding on. He can't close in and get around DK. He just needs to try and stay as close as he can. He may be able to get him under pitting. Nick maybe slowly pulling away from Dirty. The cars are like magnets to each other last week. They got some better luck this week. Of 17. DK's got away to a very good start. Billy is not letting go. He's just holding that gap. So he's teetering between half a second to 6 tenths. Cliff opting to pit in. Dirty move up into position 3. Simo's just copped himself a time penalty. Very quick stop for Mick. Seeing the pit lane down there. Steph moves up. So that's Pretender, Simo, and Head Farmer. On his way out. Spray not too far behind. Spray did go in and pit very early as well. As did Taijo after he had the spin. First drivers to pit. Currently 9th, 10th and 11th. Sitting Nick 29 seconds away from race lead. It's going to take about 23-25. Grab limiters as they shifting those cars down. These Cosworths make a lot of noise. Philly's closing that gap in now. Pressure being felt by DK. Philly goes for the pass. Nice, easy move. That inside line. Down for turn 2. Can he be able to keep that momentum and pull away from DK? Very easy mistake to get that tiny little bit wide on that entry curb at turn 1. Caught DK off guard. Managed to keep the car stable, that's the main thing. Side by side, down through turn 2, Simo and Spray. Spray getting the position. DK dropping back a fair bit now. There's only 8 tenths gap. Really is on fire at the moment. We potentially see DK decide to pit in. He's losing that momentum. Maybe pose well just to get into the pits. Repeat yourself and then get back out on there. He's still hanging on to that 5-second gap. He's not falling behind the race lead. He's got some pretty good pace at the moment. His last lap at 31.8. Great Taijo and Simo closing in a little bit. Head Farmer just gone in and pit. DK's last lap was 32.7. Billy said 31.3. A bit of glistening on that section of track. There's been some debris brought out on the track where we saw Taijo going for the spin. Head Farmer went for the slide following. Interesting, Jen, that stealth uniforms for the pit crew are doing well again. There's always a very interesting thing that happens on frights for the pit crew. It's Bray and Taijo duking it out. easy. Spray had a very nice tight line on that inside curb. Was trying to hold it off. P6. Up ahead is the Pretender. Well, that's cost him. That curb's put him out. Maybe a slowdown request for him as well. Fair bit of marbling on that outside line. Really doing some very good pace. 31.7 for the last lap. Also, similarly paced at the moment is Nick Cliff. He's just done a 31.8. In position 7, 30 seconds away from racing. He's the first of the drivers towards that front end that has actually served the mandatory pit requirement. It's going to be about 25, 28 seconds for a pit stop. Going to see him come out pretty close to our race leaders. Wants P3 before he went in and served that pit. Looks like Head Farmer's just been marked by Philly and DK. We're on lap 8 at the moment. There's 9 laps to go. Def's been in and pit. An error for Spray. Saw him just coming back on track. Okay. Playing with that gap. Seems to bring it into about half a second, and then it pushes back out to nearly 9 tenths. Previous lap with 31.1 to Phillies at 31.7. Very similarly paced here. 32.1 and a 32. Philly only a tenth quicker. Okay, getting close enough that he can start putting some pressure back on. That's where Philly got the pass before. DK Valve return. Same favour and get back the race lead. At least we're going to duke it out, potentially come down to a pit stop. Just making his way into the pits now as well. Okay, quickly closing in now. DK is hunting down Philly at the moment. A lot of the loss in that gap seems to be in sector 3 for DK. Through sector 2 he got the run of him. Oh, look at this, Philly's gone into the pits. Probably a good idea. That pit entry nicely. He hasn't got himself any feeding in the pit lane. Dirty Monkeys dropped by about a second, and blue flag being shown. That's Head Farmer's car, so he moves out rather wide to let him through. Back out underway. That gap's going to be showing. 22 seconds, that was pretty quick. Coming with only a tenth. We estimate about 25 seconds for a stop. DK is going to have to ensure that pit goes to the utmost plan. He cannot afford Not even a tenth. Otherwise he can come back a fair bit behind Philly. That even takes a few more seconds. You can even see a position loss to Dirty at this rate. We do also need to see Dirty come in and pit. Cliff's about 7 seconds behind Philly. Everyone's got those pit stops out of the way now, I believe, except for DK and Dirty. I know DK making his journey in now. Dirty follow. No, he stays on track. Vortex, you can see, just making the journey out of the pits at the moment. Philly managed to stay out in the lead. I think he is, well and truly. Oh no, he's under throttle. It's going to be a decent gap. Philly's out there on slightly hotter tyres. DK's going to be a little bit more cautious this out lap. About a second difference. If those pits out of the way, that sees Dirty Monkey as a race lead from lap 11 of 17. Dirty opt to stay out. Try and close in the gap while he's got some open track. Bring that car in. Make up some seconds through that pit stop. Oh, side by side for DK and Philly. This will be the fight for the race lead. Oh, there is nothing between them. He's got a good inside advantage. He's going to have to get on the brakes a lot harder and risk that car veering outwards. Takes a track position and then moves on to that race line. He's going to have to work very defensive here. Superb racing down over Paddock Hill. Seconds ahead by the time he goes in and pits. Actually going to see him dip around 5th position. Not sure if that was a little bit of a correction made from Philly or if he was covering a line. Starting to gap DK again. Texas dropped down to 11th. Just ahead of him is the head farmer. Go through the standings there. 10th is head farmer. P9 is Simo Simzel. It's Dirty Monkey just coming up behind him, so the blue flag will be out. Beth in P8. Pretender P7. spray and pray. P5. See, it's quite heavily overcast at the moment. Maintaining those track temperatures now. Last 4 laps are going to be nice. Joe's P5. Not bad for having quite the spin. Made up for it. In comes Dirty Monkey for his mandatory pit requirement. With P4. DK P3. PT. Oh, he's gone off wide through the final turn and off track again. Can he save the car at least? Taking off all the signage. He saved the car. Unfortunately, there's only a few laps left to go in it. What a save. It's only 5 seconds. Sorry, half a second, so 5 tenths behind DK. Dirty Monkey comes back out in a nice position, right on par with Mick Cliff, and gets the pass. Mick not fighting position too hard. Lets Dirty fly on through. They're on a very similar pace. He's got a post-race penalty as well. 14 seconds, so he must have got that in pits. Surely not. 14 seconds is a huge amount, so it must have been a fair bit off track. 14 seconds is going to see him drop down in the 5th position. Philly wouldn't be real happy. Hopefully he can still keep powering through. It's a P5 and he could be on track for at least the fastest lap of the race as well. He's had some very quick times. So be able to try and hold on as close as he can to DK Championship point-wise. Actually, I'm thinking what's really gone on for the significant amount of time is probably when the cars were side by side and then the off track. It may have even been a return to position came up. Sometimes it can be an error. You would think that should have been fine because he is still at least in position 2 and didn't move back up in the P1. At least 10 seconds is for speeding in pit lane, which he didn't have the red number when he came out of the pits. A few drivers with post-race time penalties. Tyjo, Pretender, Simo and Head Farmer all wearing them. BK Rush is getting around Simo now. Needs to make sure at this point that he doesn't drop off any more pace so that that penalty doesn't make him lose any more positions. If he drops off any more pace, that's going to be opening up towards Tyjo. At least he's got time penalty as well, so that's going to be beneficial to Philly in that circumstance. Back a bit from Dirty. Dirty doing very well for a position 2. Now we'll see Mick on the podium as well, followed by Billy's time penalty. Things are looking very well for DK for the championship lead. Tom Lightsey, who's going to be on track for the fastest lap. Billy's got a 30.5. Next quickest is DK, 30.7. At least there's an extra 5 points going to Philly at this stage. Would have been good if he could have at least held position 2. He had been on course to take the win. Would have probably tied the championship coming out of round 2. Nearing down now, it's final lap. Only a few corners left to go. Here comes DK, ready to take the checkered flag for round 2. There we are, DK takes the win. Philly crosses the line, but he's going to be dropping a couple of positions here. That moves Dirty up into position 2, Mitcliffe into P3. Philly takes 4th. A lot closer, so it's managed to be able to salvage a fair bit for Philly. P4 is going to be an okay outcome, especially for the extra 5 points for the fastest lap. Doesn't look like DK's leader on that one. It was a 32.8 that last lap. 65 seconds left. IJ 6, I think he may lose a spot to Pretender because he's got a time penalty himself. And they must have evened out. It's the FP8. So, lap down. It's Head Farmer. F under AI control there. Leads Vortex. Going to do a smoky across the line. Then we have the results now for round 2. Brands hatched for the Toyota 86 Championship. See DK Rush taking the win. His best laps. Yes, Philly still held on to the fastest lap of 30.595. So an extra 5 points to Philly. But the rest of our podium finishes is Dirty Monkey in position 2 and Mick Cliff in position 3. Standings is Philly, Spray and Pray, Tyjo, the Pretender, Steph, Vortex, Head Farmer, and Sim. And we'll bring in our podium finishes. We'll have DK, Dirty, and Mick in here in a moment. PS running very slow on me at the moment, so I'll be able to join the session very shortly. That's right, Charlie. Dirty's done awesome tonight. Yes, he'll have to give you a shout out. Hey DK, congrats on the win.
Cheers, JT.
Some pretty good tight racing between you and Philly for most of that race.
Oh, it was extremely close. Yeah. side by side through some of the fastest turns.
Yeah, managed to do
Pretty
quite
good.
well, especially at 2 wide, and there wasn't a whole lot of room between. I think mirrors were probably just touching.
Yeah, it's pretty close, but no, it was good. We're fair races, so give each other plenty of room.
Congratulations, DK. I can't hear him for whatever
It's
reason.
just unfortunate that he made a slight
There it
mistake
is.
coming onto the front straight and went wide, and you got a penalty for it. You got a 14-second penalty for
Yeah, it's
going
quite
wide.
phenomenal going out on that section.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate because he deserves the podium, if not the win.
He does.
Yeah,
Got the
well,
fastest time at least. Good job,
Yeah,
Philly.
he was fine.
Congrats,
Did
boys.
Philly get the fastest lap
30.5.
time?
Yep.
Nice, good on him.
Yeah, it's very close between you for that fastest laps. That just shows just why you were about half a second between you for most of the race. Yeah, so fantastic.
Yeah.
I was hoping I was going to pip you out of the pits, but he's just managed to get past.
Yeah, you're closing in, Dirty. You're getting them pretty quick.
I was, mate. Pushing it.
Pretty well together, pushing it. So.
Thanks to Mickey for help. And for last week.
Yeah, I couldn't fight him after last week, so.
Yeah, well, I did see that when you
he had me
away,
covered
you didn't
anyway.
fight too hard, yeah.
Nah, he had me covered though. Good work, Dirty, DK, and
Good
Philly.
race, mate.
You had me
2
beat.
seconds between us for the first 4 laps or something, I think.
Yeah, I was just off the pace a little bit, but I'm glad I'm on the podium again. Hopefully no penalties this time.
It's a shame about Pretender and Farmer coming off at the start on the
they got
hairpin.
tangled in.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think Tyjo might have glitched off track or something, and as he's come back on, both of them tangled in with each other and messed each other up. They would have had a good race if not. They were coming behind us.
I nearly lost it through turn 1, up behind Simmersol when I was getting ready to overtake him. I had a massive slide and then he just kept it out of the centre up.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I've seen him in there.
Just want to say thanks to the boys, Apex, everyone.
Lee said, Dirty, you're supposed to come first, not second.
Well, if DK had got the 14 second, I might have. That was for me new niece and nephew as well, that race, so.
Oh,
so you're flying all week, Dirty.
Good way for it.
Trying to. Alright, I'm off to go have a shower. That one was hard work, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks.
congrats, Dirty. You well deserve it after
I'll
last
speak
week.
to you soon.
Congrats, all.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, JT.
Congrats, DK.
Next week at Texas.
Yeah,
Thanks,
cheers,
Look forward
JT.
to it.
No
Cheers.
worries.
Yeehaw.
Then we have our podium finish with DK taking the win in round 2, Dirty Monkey on the podium in P2, and Mick Cliff in P3. Then for next week, we do head to Texas. So off to Texas Motor Speedway in the road course. That's going to be fantastic racing in the 86s around there. It'll be good to be seeing a little bit of the oval incorporated into that, as well as all the nice, very slidey corners through with these 86s. They are absolute drift beasts, so it's going to be great fun to see. So don't forget to hit follow if you haven't done so already, because we'll be back again live next week at 7:45 PM Australian Daylight Time on Thursday for round 3 on Project Cars, and then also iRacing on Monday night at 7:35 PM. So thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you trackside next time.